Hey, somebody recently sent me an email asking me if I could describe what I feel like as I hit the transition. So the point where the backswing ends and you start down, really critical part of the swing to get right, really bad if you get it wrong. Let's take a look at some feels right after this. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. I continue on my journey to hit it longer and straighter than I ever have. I hope that I can show you how to do the same. All right, so we're talking about transition today, and transition is actually a really critical part of the swing because if you get it right, it really becomes kind of a train getting rolling, and the momentum brings you down into really good impact. It becomes much more difficult to knock this thing offline into a bad position once you get it started right. But of course, you get it started poorly, there's almost no recovering from there. So somebody asked me, hey Steve, what do you feel like you're doing? Try to get into my head about what do I feel as I start my swing down. Now, using this chair, I love to use this chair as a reference point, and you might be able to more easily understand what I'm describing or talking about here. When I get to the top of the swing and I feel like I'm wound up really as far as I need to be wound up for the amount of power or distance I'm going for, and that can vary from shot to shot, but let's say I'm fully wound up to where I want to be, what I feel is the first thing I'm going to do is initiate the heave of the body. So that would be just a general statement. Maybe that gives some of you an idea of feels. Try to be more specific. What I feel like at the top here, fully wound up. Now, first thing I'm going to feel is a step down onto the left heel and a return from a one butt cheek chair position to a two butt cheek. And notice I get a little bit of that squat look, like a Sneed squat or a Nicholas squat, kind of automatically. In addition to that sensation of stepping down, I get a really big, strong sensation or urge to want to rotate my rib cage or my torso early and strong. Those things all go together in what we might call a heave of the body. So think about, the problem with golf clubs is they're much too light. I think a good training, somebody should invent a training club that's 50 pounds, 30 pounds, because it'll help get people stimulating the right movements of the body better. So imagine heaving a 30 or 50 pound medicine ball. You can't throw it with the arms, you just tear them. So this is what I mean by a heave. If I was going to heave a medicine ball, okay, I'm going to step down, kind of almost get into the ground a little bit so I can spring up and throw the ball up and forward like that. So I call that the heave specifically. Step down, double butt cheek, starting to kind of grip the ground a little bit and rotate the rib cage. So that's what I feel like I'm doing with the body in the transition. You do it enough times, it starts to feel like simply one idea, a heave. All right, we've got two things left. Most golfers, they try to use their arms too much on the downswing as a substitute for having very little body energy. So I feel the opposite of that. I feel a relaxation in the arms as I'm doing the heave. I feel like I'm going to let them almost relax and do nothing and get driven by the heave that way. I almost feel like I'm going to get my body racing as far out in front as my arms feel like they're being stretched behind me like I'm made of elastic. And I feel like I'm going to stretch the arm and just let it kind of lag behind me as I heave. So most people, they have a lot more activity, a pulling activity of the arms, and this really gets the swing off kilter, makes it very difficult to play good golf. The last thing I'm feeling, and I'm initiating the out throw. We've talked about the out throw on this channel. I know for how far I want to hit it, how strong I want to make the out throw, this move here. And it does initiate back here. Whether you believe it or not, you can either believe me or you can be wrong. So, but what I'm feeling is the crescendo. I'm kind of feeling the peak forces, the ramping up. So the torque starts here, but its maximum is here. That's where the forces and torques acting on the grip to uncock it have ramped up to their maximum, somewhere in this slot range here. And I'm kind of aware of it. I wouldn't say I'm trying to control it at that point. It's almost a response to the top of the swing. So can be kind of tricky for some folks, feeling a really strong out throw without the pull of the arms associated. So it would be this move, wham, wham. Notice my arms just kind of sat there in space, and truly, if you were to isolate any tour pro on TV that you like and only look at their arms and wrists, it would look like this, wham, wham. Out throw around the wrists while the arms don't advance, but they're more at the mercy of the heave this way. So you might try that drill at home, just this wham drill, out throw without advancing the arm, and hopefully that can get you out of the habit of pulling down with the arms. What you'll do is then you start adding that heave I described earlier to it. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. If you ask me to be ever present and try to describe what I am feeling, it's automatic at that point, so I'm not necessarily trying to guide or activate it. It's more like a patellar reflex at that point. But if I turn my brain on and you ask me to describe what I felt after the fact, that's what I would be. So hopefully those descriptions and those feels and movements that I'm feeling might be a good jumping off point for you. You might start with these and then maybe come up with your own kind of trigger feelings or moves that make most sense to you in the way you swing. But hey, I'd love to hear your comments down below. What do you feel like triggers your downswing? Do you have a key that you try to shoot for? Or maybe it's something that's automatic that you know if it happens, you know it's going to be a good shot. I'd love to hear that because I love to learn other people's swing language. Hey, I'm Steve. Thanks so much for watching. You can support my channel by hitting like on this video if you got some benefit out of it. Hit the subscribe button. Head over, join my Facebook group. Head over to my website and check out all the free articles over there. That's how you can support me and what I do. Thanks so much for watching again. And as usual, hey, I hope to see you in the next video, or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.